come to the right place. When it comes to money management and budgeting, people tend to make it a lot more complicated than it needs to be. But here, girlfriend to girlfriend, we just gonna keep it simple and keep it real. Hi, I'm Elle, money and business coach, and I help career and business women just like you simplify their finances. And in today's video, we're gonna talk about how to make a budget in Excel. Now, I know you're probably thinking, Excel's not really my thing, but that's okay, because we're gonna keep it what? Simple. That's right. So let's head on over to Excel and let me break this down for you. Okay, so here we are in Excel. This is a template that I created as a simple tool to help my clients create a beginner budget. We're going to go line by line with this to make it really simple and really easy. First things first, before even completing this spreadsheet, I want to mention it's going to be really important for you to have two checking accounts at least, two checking accounts and one savings account. Why? Because all of the things that we're going to put on this spreadsheet are going to be expenses that are going to be like your bills. We're going to separate your spending money in another account, but we're also going to put it on the spreadsheet. We're going to separate it in another account though, so that all of the money is not all jumbled up and we don't accidentally overspend bill money thinking that we have extra spending money. So that's definitely a gem that everyone that I tell to really takes to heart. And when they use it, they see a major difference in how they spend and manage their money. Let's start with column A and list our categories of expenses. We're going to start with emergency savings because we always want to put our savings at the forefront of our minds. We want to make sure that that is a top priority. So with it being a top priority, we're going to put it at the top of our spreadsheet. Rent or mortgage. So whether you're renting or whether you have a mortgage, we want to make sure that we put that on our spreadsheet as well. And also keep in mind, if you're doing this budget for yourself, only put the expenses that you are responsible for. So if you have a roommate or if you have a partner and maybe other expenses are not paid for by you, they're paid for by your partner or roommate or whomever, then only put the expenses that you pay for on your specific budget. So let's keep going. Electricity, we want to make sure that we include that. All of the household bills. So I'm just going to go through these pretty quickly. Water, cell phone, groceries. A lot of people tend to forget about groceries and budgeting for food, but that's going to be super important because you got to eat. So make sure that we include a groceries/food line in your budget to ensure that we're putting aside money for that as well. Now we're going to talk about transportation expenses. Put in your car note if you have one, car insurance, gas, fuel, tolls, things like that. If you take public transportation, maybe put in that, the bus or the subway or whatever it is. But be sure that you include that in your budget as well. This next kind of category are nice to have items. So cable is kind of a nice to have. If you have Netflix, Hulu, any of the music streaming services, if you have any subscription services, be sure to include those items here in the nice to have sections, because in the event that there's a time where you might need to cut down on expenses, that's the section that you want to start with, the nice to have section, cutting down there first. Also, we want to include spending money. That's something that people forget to also include in their budgets because you're going to need spending money. Sometimes people tend to think, oh, well, all my bills are paid. I don't need any additional spending money, but you will. Trust me. Things pop up. You may want to have a treat yourself moment, and that's okay. You work hard and you're not meant to work and just pay bills. So we want to set aside a little bit of spending money so that you have that to treat yourself in those treat yourself moments. Mentioning the spending money too, we want to ensure that that money goes into that other account that we talked about. So you'll have your bill pay account, checking account, you'll have your spending account, checking account, and then you'll have your savings. Next, we want to include a surprise line because life be life and things pop up. Make sure that you put a surprise item there because typically we're able to budget for these things. So we can plan for it in one of your upcoming paychecks. In this last section, we want to include any debt items we have. So any credit cards, loans, personal loans, payday loans, even student loans. All of those things will go in the final section at the end. In column B, we want to include any due dates. Some items will not have due dates, like gas for your car or even your spending money. But other items will have due dates. If any of these items are in collections, go ahead and put that as a note in due date to let yourself know that this is a collection item. I would suggest working on the items that are not in collections first, because the things that are already in collections have already done the damage it's going to do. So let's work on the active things first and get that debt down. Column C, we're going to put in starting balances. So whatever your savings is at currently, put that balance there. Also, you'll notice that I'm including all of the starting balances for the debt items and listing them from smallest to largest so that we can implement the snowball method of paying off the smallest debt item and then snowballing that payment into the next smallest debt item until all of the items are finally paid off. In column D, we'll put the day of your pay date and then also whatever your income is. So this is a hypothetical situation based on a real life scenario. So this hypothetical person gets paid on the 1st and 15th of the month. You'll notice that their rent or their mortgage is $1,300 and we have $650 in the paycheck. I recommend splitting up your rent or your mortgage into your separate paychecks so that you don't have such a large chunk coming out all at once from one paycheck. It's something that's really helped my clients when we work on creating a budget that doesn't feel so restrictive. Then you'll just go down the line, filling in the expenses and the amounts based on your history, based on past transactions. Go back through your bank account and look for any monthly things that are coming out and put that number in your budget spreadsheet. Now pause just for a second. If you're loving this video and really liking what you're learning, give it a thumbs up so it can get in the algorithm so other ladies just like you can learn how to better manage their finances too. I also have this template on my website, so you don't have to recreate the wheel. You can simply download this spreadsheet that already has the formulas plugged in for you, and it's a plug and play situation. It comes with a video and it also comes with an ebook that gives you more tips and tricks on how to better use Excel for your budget. And it's only $25, a very small investment to get you started on a year of financial success. Now let's get back to it. So we're just going to continue filling in the expenses. And as we get to the debt items, we want to focus on putting as much as the budget will allow towards the debt items. So the Target credit card, we're putting $200 towards that because it's due on, and we want to make sure that we're paying the bills ahead of the due date, not after the due date, which is why we have the due dates. And that's why we put the dates of our paydays coming up so we can determine what paychecks those bills need to be paid from. Now you see everything's been filled out. All the expenses are satisfied for this pay period. She has $31 left, so we're going to just throw that into the savings account. We'll continue with the next column. Column F, we're going to put her 15th paycheck in the payday line. We're going to put in her income, which is the same, $1,631, and then fill in the expenses based on the due dates and what's due for that pay period. So you'll notice she has her rent split into 2 paychecks, which gives her more wiggle room when it comes to her budget. She also has spending money budgeted, $150 from each paycheck. It's basically F off money, which is what some of my clients tend to call it, because you're about to just F this money off because all of your other expenses are paid for. And this is just frivolous spending that you have budgeted for in case some things come up and you want to have a treat yourself moment, which is totally okay. Also, you'll notice that the groceries are budgeted as well. She's doing $120 every 2 weeks or so. She's a single woman. She's able to keep her grocery budget fairly low. You'll notice that there's still $42 left over. We want to ensure that there is $0 left over after the budget is complete because that is the definition of zero-based budgeting. Every dollar has a job. So $42 is left over. we're just going to go ahead and throw that into the savings. Now notice in just 2 paychecks, she's gone from $5 in her savings to now $78 in her savings. So every little dollar adds up. Know and understand, every little dollar adds up. You don't have to put huge chunks into your savings account. Put what the budget allows and don't touch it and allow it to grow. I'm just going to give one more example of what her first of the February check would look like for this example. The budget should start to look similar, right? Each pay period should start to look similar. As you pay things off, you can remove those things from your budget and then get that red section smaller and smaller and smaller, which really is a great sign for you because now you're putting money back into your pocket. If you want to look at it a different way, this girlfriend in just the month of January, we'll say for this exercise, is paying $450 towards debt, just towards debt. So imagine, as she pays these debt items off, that's an extra $450 she'll then get back in her pocket. Again, check out the template on my website. It's going to be your best bet to getting started. I'd highly suggest grabbing a copy for yourself, getting started with this activity, and knowing your numbers, because it's the only way that you're really going to be able to reach your financial goals this year. So that was a very high level overview of how to create a budget. For my business girlies, if you want me to show you how to create a business budget in Excel, let me know in the comments and I'll work on a video for that as well. I have a strategy when it comes to your business that's called backwards budgeting, which basically tells you how much money you need to make in order to pay your expenses and also pay yourself from your business. I really hope that you like this video, and I hope that you take the gems that you've learned here and start implementing them today. Be sure to get the template. It's going to be so helpful for you, and cut down the time, because we're all about time and efficiency here. Because what? Time is money, honey. So let's make sure that we're using our time wisely. So that's all I got for you today. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. But until then, love your budget and love your life. See you later.